right, it's 6:30. Julie, would you mind calling the roll, please?
Certainly. Kara Caston.
Here.
Katie Courtney.
Here.
Ken Dawson.
Here.
Mr. Espinoza.
Here.
April Finan.
Here.
Don Renner.
Here.
Michael Risky.
Here.
Ryan Enright.
Here.
And Romina Papavera Gonzalez.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, having a quorum, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to start with student recognition. Hank, I'll turn it over to you.
I'll turn it over to the principals.
We have the honor of speaking together for this first one for our Trostangs gymnastics team. We are really excited, as you can see, and have you been seeing us celebrate on social media and have mentioned it here before. The success of our Trostangs gymnastics team is just an unbelievable tradition at this point. So we are going to introduce Kristen Campos and Kylie Bosco. Kristen is our head coach and Kylie's our assistant.
Hi guys, again. I can't forget about Bill. He's also my trusty assistant for the last 19 years. The girls are here, so I'm going to introduce each of them. So if you can just kind of wave. Caroline, Phillip, Avery Perrone. Okay, stand up and wave. Give it your best. We'll try again. Caroline, Avery, Heidi Schmidt, Hannah Larkin, Stella Perrone, Edie Condon, Lauren Dacey, Kaylin Landry, Emily Kuchta. Feels like a test right now. Okay. Can you say their names? All right, so just a quick shout out to them. This year was definitely different than previous years. So this was 4 trophies in 4 years. As the seniors said, we're like the Avengers. We collected all the colors, which was kind of fun to have one of each. But third in state was great with a team of basically seniors, juniors, and freshmen. We have no sophomores. So to have the newcomers come in and learn our ways and our family tradition of excellence and hard work was awesome. So you can see on the screen, one is not up there because she was 8th in state, so she didn't finish on the podium, but definitely made a name for herself. So Avery Perrone was 8th in state on vault as a freshman, is a very big deal. So we're excited about that. Caroline was 5th in state in all around, had an amazing showing, and a state medalist on bars. And for 3 years in a row, we have a Downers Grove State Beam champion. So Edie is our state champion on balance beam. Deserves a special round of applause there. Just to remind you guys, it's only 4 inches wide, okay? And she does some pretty amazing things up 4 feet in the air on that balance beam. So we're really proud of her leading the way, the last one in the entire meet to compete, and took it home for us. So our motto this year was one more time. We know that the world of co-ops is, an issue for others, not us. And we wanted to go out with a bang if that's what was going to happen, and see what next year brings. But our seniors wanted to say something to the board. So I do want to introduce, I guess all 3 of you, right? Okay, Emily, Kaylin, and Lauren wanted to say something to you.
Hi, my name is Emily Kukta, and I'm a senior at Downers Grove North. I would first like to say how grateful I am for what high school gymnastics has given me. These past 4 years haven't just been about competing, but about the relationships and memories I've made with my teammates. I want to especially thank Coach Bill, Coach Kylie, and Coach Campos for their dedication to the sport because they have truly made it memorable. Looking back at myself freshman year has made me realize how much I've grown as an athlete, student, gymnast, and person. My coaches and teammates have taught me everything I do know about gymnastics, and I'm so fortunate to have finished my high school career alongside this team.
Hi, I'm Kaylin. I would like to thank our coaches for pushing us to be our best this season. Campos, Coach Kylie, and Coach Bill had an everlasting confidence in us, not only as athletes, but as a team. Being able to have coaches to talk to and guide us through our battles and triumphs really made this team a family. The love me and my teammates have for each other has grown immensely over the season. Watching our 3 freshmen, Avery, Hannah, and Stella, thrive being part of a team reminded me how special the Downers Grove Gymnastics family is. Competing for and with this amazing team is something I will always cherish, and although the team will be changing next year, I will remember our family as the Trostangs. My past 4 years with the co-op helped me find my inspiration and, most importantly, my love for gymnastics again.
Hi, I'm Lauren. From the past 4 years of being a Trostang, I have learned so much. I have learned how to love gymnastics again, be a family with my team, how to grow as a person, and so many more valuable lessons. This year we had such a special team where all varsity girls competed in the lineup and everyone stepped up to play an important role on our team. I am beyond proud of everyone and what they have accomplished. I want to thank Campos, Coach Kylie, and Coach Bill for always being there for me no matter what. We would not be where we are today without you guiding us. I also want to say thank you to the girls for making this season so special. I could truly never ask for a better group of girls to spend my last season with. Most of all, I'm proud to be a part of a team that feels like a family. This season wasn't just about gymnastics, it was about trust, growth, and making memories that will carry with me for the rest of my life.
Dr. Seeley?
Yep. We need Edie to come up. Yeah,
He had his hand.
it's literally your day.
She doesn't have to talk, you just have to be embarrassed.
All right, as state champion, both our villages get involved when we have state champions. So the village of Downers Grove and Mayor Barnett has declared today, April 20th, in your honor.
Thank you.
And you get a little certificate. And in the village of Woodridge, Mayor Cunningham has named tomorrow in your honor.
Congratulations again, Trostangs. We're proud of you. Next up, we are celebrating DECA, so it's a really nice night tonight. We get to celebrate things both in the realms of athletics and activities when we have our competitive activities and athletics. So I'm going to introduce Paul Crick and Ruth White, who are here to represent DECA from Downers Grove South.
So we're here today to recognize 3 of our DECA members who are going to be competing this following week at DECA Nationals in Atlanta. We have competing in 3rd place, they took at state, qualifying for nationals and buying and merchandising is Neha Higa and Sarah Hajay. And Sarah is here today. Her partner couldn't be here because she's at a lacrosse game. So Sarah, stand up. Sarah and her partner are both sophomores, same with our 4th place finisher in Principles of Business Management. Arden Guaja will be competing also as a sophomore, so we're very excited that we have a very young program and being led by some very great people. If you would like to say something, Sarah, you can come on up.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I know they already introduced me, but I just want to keep it incredibly brief and thank my advisors for helping facilitate all of this, from sectionals to state to even our fall leadership conference. And even though unfortunately my partner couldn't be here today, I'm so honored to represent the DGS DECA chapter at ICDC this week. And I think it's such an incredible thing that we have such a bright future for this program, because I think about last year, like my partner and I didn't even place at sectionals last year, and this year we somehow qualified for nationals. And I think that just shows how much potential there is in this program for us to grow. So thank you so much.
I was going to say, and I'm sure when the North people coming up, there was 1,800 people competing at DECA State this year. So.
Wow. Congratulations.
All right, I'm excited to introduce our North High DECA students who have also qualified for nationals in Atlanta. Our sponsors had previous commitments tonight, so I am the lucky one who gets to introduce our students. So first off, we have Ethan Weiner, who is at a volleyball game, I've learned. So again, we have all of the competing things in the spring, which is amazing. He was second place in state human resources. And we do have Kate Whitmer here tonight for fourth place in state for financial consulting. So congratulations. For fifth place in state, we have Bryn Burkhart and Rowan Hurd. I don't think they are
They have
here.
track and field.
Track and field, thank you, Ryan. They were fifth for integrated marketing for their campaign. And for our last recognition here, we do have Ryan and Vivian Metropolis here this evening. They were fifth for entrepreneurship team decision making. So you certainly don't have to come up and say a few words, but if you would like to, you are more than welcome. But again, congratulations to all of our DECA students who have qualified for nationals. It's a really amazing thing, and this is one of the things that, as I think about my own kids going into high school, I'm going to push them this way to DECA too. So it's awesome.
I can say a few things about DECA. So DECA is a club that prepares emerging leaders in finance, accounting, marketing, law, fashion merchandising, buying and selling, economics, and business administration. But what DECA really is its real-world application. And DECA's huge thing is networking. You know the saying, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And that is such a big thing with DECA, is we teach you how to make connections with people, how to network with people, how to have great social skills, because that's something that really helps you stand out, whether you're in a business or your post-secondary plans. So I just want these two to stand up and just show you guys. If you guys want to say something, that'd be great. But Vivian's our executive assistant to our officers this year, and then Katie Milos is Katie Whitmer, excuse me, is a two-time nationals qualifier. So. I think they're good. But other than that, this year has been a record-breaking year for DECA. We had over 50 members qualify for state, and we had 226 members in total. So I'm super excited to see how DECA grows. Fortunately, this is my last year as our vice president, but this has been a great experience, and this is something that I'm going to continue in college. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, next up, we have a couple of recognitions from North for athletics. So I'm going to introduce Dave Rose, our Associate Principal for Athletics.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. We have a couple of individual athletes from North that were honored with some all-state honors, as well as one that received some national honors. So we're going to start. I'm just going to introduce John Sipple, Coach Sipple, and he's going to say a few words about a familiar face at this point. Philip Supio. Philip, you can come on up too.
Well, it's my honor again to be here recognizing Philip for winning the Gatorade Cross Country Athlete of the Year for the state of Illinois. Pretty amazing accomplishment. And Philip is going to graduate as the most decorated and most accomplished runner that we've had in North High history ever, which is pretty amazing. And it's been such a journey to go on with him, and it's been really a lot of fun. We've had a lot of challenges, a lot of great times, a lot of, so much experience, and traveling across the country to go to different meets and stuff together. I'm so thankful, and I've learned so much through this, and having the pleasure of coaching you. I know Coach Edelman as well. You challenge us because, boy, he's tenacious. He's always trying to do something. But I think the accomplishments and the awards and the all states, the state championships, have been incredible. But I think like Philip though is leaving a legacy behind that is going to help our younger runners. Is having a freshman on the team right now, my son. And this guy there to help bring him along and stuff, and watch kind of being able to watch that kind of firsthand, and you kind of taking on these younger guys and trying to fill that leadership role of a number of guys that we lost last year and stuff like that in previous years. I can't thank you enough for that stuff. Boy, it's been awesome, dude, and I've had so much fun doing it. Philip, man, thank you. Thank you. Say something?
Sure, yeah, I could talk about, cross country and track for, millions of years, or not so sorry. But you know, I can't say how thankful and grateful I am for the opportunities, you know, DGN gave me. I've been so lucky, you know, to go to Jefferson and have a great coaching staff over there, to go to Downers Grove North, which even better coaching and staff over there. We had 9 coaches. It's so amazing, to be honest. And, you know, now I'm gearing up for college where I take it to a whole nother level at Virginia. I'm just so thankful, you know. I have so much people along the way that aren't here right now. I'll list some of their names, but, you know, like my mom, my stepdad, you know, my dad, they came to all my meets, and it just, like, meant the world to me, you know, like showing them and showing their commitment along with mine, and it's been such a journey. But yeah, you know, along with all these teammates and stuff, and it's just so fun. You know, I like running, you know, you guys know running. It's not, you know, that typical fun sport. It's a lot of people's punishment. So, you know, making the sport so fun with all these guys and all these alumni, still seeing them come in, you know, it's been an emotional journey for sure, but I've, you know, suckered all that in, and it's been so fun this last year, especially senior year, and now, you know, I'm gearing up for hopefully my last big season, and I want to end things off with a big bang. So I'm really proud, and proud of DGN, proud of myself, proud of my parents, and super excited to end off the year.
All right, next up we have Maya Nicholson, All-State cheer. I'll invite up Coach Passarelli, and Maya, come on up.
Well, a little bit on the fly. Maya got the All-State recognition for cheerleading and was amongst a very small group of people that got that honor. I've had the privilege of coaching her for 4 years. She was a former gymnast and had some injuries and came to cheer, and we're so excited she did because she is the epitome of a coachable athlete. I could sit here and talk about her for probably an hour, but she is so humble and so talented and so deserving of this honor. So.
All right, and then last up for North. Unfortunately, she could not be here tonight, but I'll just give her a quick shout out. We have Campbell Thulin, received All-State honors, 3rd team All-State from the IBCA, and 2nd team All-State from the Illinois media. She is a leader on a team here that has won 30 games in 2 consecutive seasons, which is a very difficult thing to do. Won the regional championship this year at home, which was a great experience for our kids, and then lost in the sectional championship to the eventual state champ. So a leader, a hard worker, endless, you know, and always in the gym, very, like Coach Passarelli said, very coachable. All of these athletes that you see that are achieving these All-State honors are incredibly hardworking, very coachable. They're there day in and day out, and they are, as Coach Sipple said, they're setting a standard and they're raising a bar for a lot of our younger athletes. They work incredibly hard, they do all the right things, and they're a great example for all the younger kids. So, you know, we've had a couple of successful years here, and there's a reason for that, and I think it's because they're upperclassmen and our coaches set a great example. So, congratulations to all of our athletes that are here today.
From South, we're celebrating our basketball coach, Zach Miller, along with student athlete Adam Flowers. So I'm going to invite them both to come up. And Zach is going to celebrate the All-State 3rd team that Adam made.
Yeah, super proud and honored to be up here. I could go on, you know, for days talking about Adam and all of his accolades, the points he scored, but I don't think I would be doing him justice to not talk about like the type of character, high character kid he is, and just how the amount of hours and time he put in the gym day in, day out. And I'm so grateful to be able to coach him for the last 2 years and just get to know him. And I think as, you know, teachers, coaches, as we're starting to get ready here for summer and we start thinking about next year, I always knew I was going to miss him, but I didn't realize until the last few weeks when I'm like going through everything, like, man, like I'm really, really going to miss, and not just the basketball stuff, but just who he is as a person on the day-to-day. And I think that's kind of the standard and the legacy he's leaving with Downer South and with the basketball program. So I'm just truly, truly appreciative of all Adam's done for us.
He'll pick you up.
I just want to thank my mom first, always driving me to the gym and practices and stuff, and even when it's super late at night or in the morning. I want to thank Miller for always believing in me and pushing me to like way past what I thought I could. And my sister, she's not here today, but I thank her because she always talks to me about basketball, how she likes seeing me play. So I'm just really grateful for it.
All right, celebration continues. I've got Brian Swada and Luke Conley right here. We're going to celebrate Luke, and then Brian is also going to talk about our diving program as well.
I'm just glad I'm going before the speech kids. Yeah, no, this was a great season. Illinois is typically one of the most competitive swim and dive sports in the nation. So to have two people to recognize is fantastic. Nicky couldn't be here tonight, but yeah, he placed 14th in the state. He also set our school record for the 6-dive varsity record. Coach Luke's actually won Sectional Coach of the Year this year as well. Coach Crick's name's not up there. He's not sitting with us because he's exactly good. But he also coaches. So thank you to Coach Crick. And this guy here, Luke's a junior, and this is his second year making state and first year All-State. He got 16th, and it was the first time I think I've ever had someone get All-State where it kind of felt like a letdown. Because, as most of the coaches know here, the plague went through our school, like right during championship season. Thank you, gymnastics, yeah. And he got sick at state, basically. So to do that, in the 200 freestyle, he broke our school record, which was 36 years old, I believe. And in the 500 freestyle, he broke our record, which was only 1 year old. Doesn't sound as impressive, except he broke that one last year. So it was a great season. Super excited to see where it takes us next year. And yeah, he's a joy to coach. So.
Sweda wraps it up pretty good, but I had an amazing season. I was undefeated the entire season through all our dual meets, invites, and conference. I didn't lose a race. But that wasn't just because of me.
It's coaching.
Over here.
Swim's an individual sport, but I didn't do it myself. My two coaches, Sweda and Crick, we don't have the best team here at South, but they could have been replaced with the best team in the state and fit right in. I'm so blessed to have such good coaches. This guy I know has spent a lot of late nights worrying about my swims, lost him a lot of sleep and probably some hair. So we had a lot of momentum going into state series. We went to sectionals. I broke the school records. We qualified for state twice. Tons of momentum coming into state. Woke up Friday the morning of state. Couldn't really breathe, which in a sport where you can't really breathe anyway, wasn't the greatest. I couldn't even go down the stairs without getting out of breath. It was really hard because I kind of commit my life to this sport and try my hardest. But thanks to my mom and my coach, we pushed through and placed at state.
Congratulations, Luke. All right, we're going to transition to speech. So I've got Coach Justin Makovich here, who's going to come up and celebrate. So our speech team, I'm looking to see if it's up there. Can you just go to the next slide for just a second? Thank you. So I wanted to celebrate that this is the second place in-state team as a team. So state runner-up, super exciting. It's so fun as a principal. Even though I'm not there to be like monitoring and refreshing on my phone, like every, I don't know how often, Justin, 3 or 4 seconds, I think I do it on that Saturday night waiting to see. And so state runner-up is amazing. So I'm going to introduce Justin. He's going to celebrate the whole team, and we have a state champion amongst them too. So Justin, come on up.
So I always feel like honored to be here, obviously talking about the speech team, because speech is something that's very important to me. This is my 21st year being involved on the Downers Grove South speech team as a competitor, as an assistant coach, and as the head coach. This program is so important to me specifically, but I think when I look at my students and see what they do, not only in high school, but beyond high school, I really see the value of what speech does. It's more than these awards, which are cool, don't get me wrong. It's really about the people that I get to work with and the people that they become because of what we do on our speech team. And this year we have the second year in a row of getting second place, which I think is a fantastic accomplishment. 3 in a row? Oh, sorry, 3 in a row. We've got 3 second places in a row. So that's pretty fantastic.
30 of the last 41 years, you have finished in first or second place.
Oh, that's crazy.
30 of the last 41 years.
That's impressive. And obviously, like, as being, like, you know, the head coach of this program, I've just been standing on the shoulders of Downers Grove South speech since I've gotten here, and it's been a fantastic honor to do that. Getting to work with a staff of alumni, former program heads, and competitors has been a true honor that get to work and shape the next generation of DGS speech. So our second place team this year, we had Jack Mealy, who represented our team in special occasion speaking. We had Mustafa Mahajar, who was our representative in radio speaking. Abby Heverin was a state qualifier in prose reading. And then Charlotte Clinton was our 5th place in the state competitor in poetry reading. Carly Blue was a state qualifier in dramatic interpretation and 5th place in declamation speaking. We had Sophie Cooper Carrero, who was a 4th place in state in humorous duet acting. Jillian Myers was a state qualifier in oratory speaking, but also 4th place in extemporaneous speaking at state. Zoya Siddiqui was 4th place in both impromptu speaking and informative speaking in the state. Natalie Gay was 3rd place in the state in humorous interpretation. And then we had Nate Clinton, who was 4th place in state with Sophia in humorous duet acting, but he was also our state champion in original comedy. Now, fun fact, my sophomore year, I was also our state entry in original comedy. I did not get anywhere close to being our state champion in OC that year. But if I could have Nate come down here and just say a couple words about speech and his experiences on the team.
Hi. Mr. Makovich used this as an opportunity to prepare me for limited prep events in the future by telling me around 10 minutes ago that I would have to say some things. So I want to use this opportunity to talk about how speech can take a group of people and make them into a family. I joined this team as a freshman because my sister convinced me around 3 months before freshman year to join. So I quit football and joined speech, and I will never regret that decision. Over the past 2 years, these people sitting over there have become like a family to me, and I would not trade that for anything else in the world. So, thank you.
State champ, my friends. So therefore, Mayor Barnett and Mayor is also the mayor of Downers Grove is also named today in your honor, and Mayor Cunningham in the village of Woodridge is also named today in your honor. So
All right. Well, now that it's over, I feel a little sad. But just congratulations on behalf of both me and Dr. Dement. Congratulations to all of our students, our coaches, and thank you on behalf of both of us to our families. I think both Luke and Adam spoke about that they can't do it without the family. So thank you for all the driving and all the support and just all the love and care you give them. And thank you for sharing them with us. I think that concludes our celebration. So thank you.
It is an open board meeting and everybody's able to stay. However, you're also...
Ms. Browning, our Chief Communications Officer, would like to take pictures of everyone. So please check in with her before you leave.
Good to see you. Congratulations. Thank you. You just do it all. Do it all.
Something like that.
How's fun doing? That was great. Absolutely great. And I like that it was athletics and academics.
I don't want to be associated with that guy.
All right. Our kids never disappoint.
No.
Sir?
No, I think I love the extemporaneous speaking.
Yeah, it's like those are so
like I love the categories.
Those categories. I know they're like, this is that's awesome.
Actually, one of
declination.
It is so true. I have a close friend who went to South and was on stage. Talks nonstop about it. Yeah, it's
one
like,
of my best friends, his kid took state in humorous in Iowa this year. Okay. And he did a whole...
hoping for a short little like stand-up comic.
I thought he would.
I was like, that's
and it's all full of these like double meanings.
I was like, man,
and it was
love our family.
I'm like,
where's the
watching,
comedy?
like he sent us all a recording of his game. Literally.
I always try to throw a math joke in whenever I can, whenever I'm speaking.
But the acorn is
Great preparation for life.
Yeah, for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Karen, I don't know, she has so many stories.
All right, shall we continue?
Yes, we shall.
Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Looking for student perspective.
Ryan,
To
my
to be
kids now
being
are just
amazing
like,
and getting recognized. So I'll go ahead and get started.
Your time
Good
to
evening.
shine,
Yeah.
yeah.
So again, it's amazing to see so many students here getting celebrated. Every time it happens, I get excited to just see like familiar faces, and I just think again it's an incredible opportunity to just recognize everyone's hard work, the dedication they put in, and I'm just very thankful that I get to be a part of this, and as a district we can again applaud our students and community for being so incredible. So as we get closer to the end of the year, everyone's excited, a little bit stressed. There's a lot of things, as we saw tonight, there's a lot of things going on both academically and with activities. Everyone's focused on finishing the year strong, also maintaining the expectations we have set throughout the year with both attendance and academics. For activities, this past weekend we had our Addams Family musical. I got to see it on Friday and it was honestly amazing. You could really tell how much dedication and care went into it, and it was just amazing to see everyone thrive in their respective roles. We also had state testing for the freshmen, the sophomores, and juniors, and the seniors got a very long weekend, which I'm personally not complaining about. We have senior prom coming up this next Saturday, so everyone's very excited and looking forward to it. Also, everyone's running around trying to figure out pictures and bouquets and like all the other details. We also have a lot of concerts coming up soon, such as the jazz concert, the orchestra concert, and the band concert. Senior awards are next week, which is a select group of seniors who will be recognized by the community. And sports are also in full swing, as well as other activities. Sports such as volleyball, soccer, softball, baseball. Again, everyone's focused on their activities, so a lot going on and a lot of excitement in the building. And for resources, as May 1st is approaching, most seniors have decided or are still deciding what college they're going to, or just overall what plans they have after high school. Our College and Career Center continues to be an incredible resource for students. They help with stuff such as FAFSA, finding scholarships, enrollment, or just overall helping students find their path after high school. But yeah, overall, pretty exciting past few weeks and following weeks in the building and in the community overall. And I'm looking forward to finishing the year strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Romina. So over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of positive momentum across the student body, a lot of excitement about academics, activities, athletics, and post-secondary planning, and students continue to show more ownership, accountability, and responsibility in the day-to-day school life. So let's switch to what's working. We've talked a lot about the phone policy. So the phone policy has been working well in classrooms. Phone has been kept in backpacks and have reduced distractions and improvement. One thing that we've talked about is that self-regulation piece and how important it is to build that habit, because a lot of students are going to their post-secondary plans, and it's really important for them to have that self-regulation piece and to be able to monitor themselves and their usage. We had state testing last week, and based on how it went, I know the test was a little bit difficult, asking some underclassmen, but other than that, the way that it was broken up was really beneficial, and everyone had great things to say about that. I know I did with my 2 days off. Scanning in system continues to support accountability and consistency. Students physically tracking or checking and reinforcing that idea of attendance and it being their responsibility is a key point. It also reduces confusion and helps create stronger everyday culture around being present and on time. One thing that we've been doing is security checks around the school. If a student hasn't scanned in, security will come and look for you, and that's been a great resource because 99.99% of the time, the person just forgot to scan in, the person was late, and the teacher said, hold on, I'll update your attendance, and they come down the corner, and the teacher's already doing it. So in every single case, there really hasn't been an issue with security coming in, but that is just something to be aware of. And there's still continued attention and correction attendance errors quickly. So when I've asked my peers if they've had attendance issues, they kind of just email the office, email their teacher, and those get fixed really quickly. Moving to student ownership and accountability. Across classrooms, expectations feel clearer and more consistent, and students are seeing more follow-through from adults, which makes systems feel more real and fair. Other than that, college and career readiness, the College and Career Center is continuing to help students with their post-secondary planning, whether that be scholarships, applications, and kind of getting their financial aid figured out, and also their housing applications. I know I'm stressed about that, Romina.
Me too.
But other than that, senior updates, it's the really important stretch of the year. I think it's a time of celebration, but it's also a time of decision-making. Decision Day is May 1st. I know a lot of people are counting down the date, but it's exciting, and there's a lot of emotion in the air with seniors realizing their time at District 99 is kind of coming to a close. So other than that, prom and ticketing updates. So prom is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. The 5-star ticketing site has been working really well, and seniors, it's just a link that Mr. Marindole has been sending, and it's been working really well, honestly, especially with the guest forms, too. I know I'm bringing a guest, and it was super easy to get that form filled out, get a signature, put it into student activities. Shout out to Ms. Mamula for doing probably 300 forms a day. But, you know, it's been a really easy process. Other than that, athletics also have been in full swing, whether that be girls soccer, boys volleyball, which currently have a perfect record. Fingers crossed they're playing tonight. I skipped the game. But other than that, boys baseball, track and field, and then girls lacrosse. These programs are bringing a lot of energy, school spirit, and student engagement right now. Other than that, April 29 is Senior Awards at 7 p.m. I have May 1st for College Decisions Day, which is super exciting. May 2nd is prom. May 5th is cap and gown distribution, and there's other days within May. But, you know, there's been really great communication with the Student Activities Office and administration with kind of keeping up to date with those dates, and especially when it comes to graduation and picking up your cap and gown, ordering everything. It's been really organized, and I'm really impressed. So those bigger takeaways are clearer systems, stronger expectations, and more student ownership. High excitement around athletics, activities, and senior milestones, and students feel supported, but they also understand that accountability matters. Overall, tone right now is positive, motivated, and forward-thinking. Thank you.
Okay, item 5, approval of minutes. Can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the minutes of the March 16th, 2026 monthly business meeting, the March 16th, 2026 closed meeting, and the March 25th, 2026 special meeting with action item?
So moved.
Second.
Ken moves, Katie seconds.
Thank you. Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries. Item 6, Julie, do we have any visitors?
No.
No slips? Okay. Item 7, turn it over to you, Hank.
All right, I'm going to turn this over to Travis and Drury for this part.
Good evening. It's been a busy, trying to think of the first time that we presented on this opportunity, but we've done a lot of work up to this point. So want to fill you in. This infographic kind of lays out all of the different pieces that we're talking, so I want to orient you a little bit. From the last time that we talked, when we agreed to do the investment grade audit, we have had a lot of building visits, a lot of looking at plans, a lot of meetings. We're having a weekly check-in meeting on progress and how things are going, and coordinating a lot of different moving pieces. And as a result of that, there are a couple new things on this screen. You'll notice this is broken down by handled by Honeywell and then handled by District 99. So if you remember when we initially talked about this, we talked about doing a tax-exempt lease. Drury has done some additional work in investigating, and we've decided to not go that route and to go with the debt certificate. She's going to talk a little bit about that and the why with that. But because of that shift, what we wanted to do was break out the things that are energy conservation work that Honeywell would manage and take care of. And then the other capital work, if you remember, we talked about the potential of having other capital work done. That's what's broken down into the handled by District 99. So in that handled by Honeywell, we talked about all of those pieces. The one part that we didn't talk about was roof replacements. Okay, so that is separate from, when you look at capital and safety projects handled by District 99, that's separate from the field house repair and roof replacement that the board has already approved. This is taking 4 sections across both buildings, both of the high schools, that are structurally sound and can handle solar, but were put on in 2000. So it would not be smart to put solar on top of 26-year-old roofs that are already past their life expectancy. So with that work, and we'll get into some of the details related to that, that is the increase of replacing 4 of those roof sections. And so what that does is it takes our square footage and increases that by, I have it in my notes here, by about 57% upgrading our potential. So there are other sections of the roof that are good structurally and are recently replaced. So one of those being the fieldhouse roof at North, right? So we're going to take advantage of that, but there are other sections of the roof as well. And then we had talked about the boiler replacement, and we'll talk a little bit about that at North, but all of the other things we had talked about previously. When we look at our capital and safety projects, we also talked about safety projects, and that would be the safety camera hardware, which, again, just as a reminder, we stand ready to submit our COPS School Violence Prevention Program grant as soon as that opens up. I've been checking weekly to see when it's open. We have all of the paperwork. We have additional supporting letters, one from our ROE and one from the DuPage County State's Attorney to help bolster that application, so we stand ready to do that. And the other is a PA system upgrade. It's not a full PA system replacement. That would be very expensive. What this is basically replacing the brains of the system, as well as the amplifiers to help drive the system, but there would be some additional opportunities in the future to expand that so that we could enhance the functionality of our PA system and enhance the security as well. We've talked about the health, life, safety controls, so that's, if you remember, we're replacing 21 rooftop units as part of our health, life, safety work. So that is to pay for the controls that will go forward and program and control those rooftop units. We knew that was going to be an expense that was not included in health, life, safety. It couldn't be included in the health, life, safety work. We had to pay for that, so we're looking at funding that through this mechanism. We've talked about the auditorium remediations at North, and obviously we've talked also about and approved the field house roof. So those 3 things, the controls, the auditorium remediations, and the field house roof, those wheels are already in motion. Those things have to happen. type of a thing. So regardless of whether we move forward with this or not, we're going to have those projects completed. And so, but we thought it'd be best to weave that into this funding mechanism. So do you want to highlight a little bit about the financing component?
Sure. Tammy and I have met with our underwriter to discuss various options that we have for financing these projects. Bond counsel initially suggested that we contact our underwriter and instead of looking at a tax-exempt lease. And so what has been recommended are issuing debt certificates. Debt certificates do not affect the levy. Those are paid for with operating funds. And the way we would do it is, I believe it's up on this slide.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Talking about the annual debt payments would be supported by the energy savings from all the upgrades, the revenue generated from the solar, and then approximately $200,000 would come annually from the operating budget. And that is just something that we would plan and budget for each year. This would be, these debt certificates would be paid back over a 20-year period. And so if we move forward with these projects, we would plan to bring back all the specifics at the May board meeting.
Jerry, where did the solar revenue number come from?
That is part of, Honeywell provides that as part of the projections, and within that, that is the first year, full year of the solar use. We would receive revenue, an annual check for that 20 years. And it's projected out to grow at about 4% each year. So when we look at that total estimated cost, or actually the payments for the debt certificate, that's factored in. We would utilize those funds to help make that payment.
And we're having the underwriter structure our repayment schedule that will fit within all of these. Like for the first year, our savings would be less than it would be for the second year, and when we receive like the federal credits and all of that. So we factored all of that in so that it would not hit the operating budget.
Go to the next slide. So this gives a greater breakdown. You can see where the savings are and what the payback is. It is ranked, it's sorted by the highest, right, amount of annual savings. So there's substantial savings with our solar. You can see that has a 17.1 year payback. And why you look at that, why the higher number, that's because we have the roof replacements as well, right? If we didn't have to do, that's factoring in the roof replacements. If we didn't have those, that would be a much lower number, probably around a 7-year payback for that. LED lighting and controls, you can see that this is almost 11,000 fixtures that would be replaced across the entire district, both inside and outside. All of our lighting fixtures would be changed to LED. That is an important thing considering that starting in January 1st of 2027, there are strict restrictions on the use of fluorescent bulbs in the school setting. So that would remove all of that. Everything would be LED, and that has a 21.7 year payback. That's a lot of lights to get replaced over that time.
Travis, can you also just mention the impact on classrooms for that?
Yes. So it not only is it the efficiency, right, but the impact on the learning environment is a huge factor as well, where they can be dim, they can be controlled. And we know that the rooms that we have those in, it makes a difference in the atmosphere and the learning environment. So again, that would be across the board in all of our buildings, actually including this building as well. We have quite a bit of fluorescent bulbs here. So that would take care of that, and we would be right in line with that Clean Lighting Act. The HVAC controls retro commissioning. There were some surprise savings here with we're about $90,000 a year. That has a very short payback in the work that would be required from that. So some of that is set points, some of it's schedules, some of it's just managing the efficiency of our HVAC system. So not a huge lift, but some pretty big savings each year. Water conservation, you can see we would replace 375 devices, including shower heads, sink faucets, water closets, as well as retrofitting 232 of the similar. So they look at the age of the water closets, age of the sinks and the flow, and they can look at, and some of them just need to be retrofitted instead of a full replacement. So that has a 14.3-year payback. Building envelope improvements, again, if you think about that, when you think of your home, right, when you put in the extra caulking, whether that be a door sweep, different things like that that help keep the air in or the heat out, right? Those are the types of things that we're talking about with that. Again, about $7,000 in savings and pretty close to that 20-year payback. Boiler replacement, that is not a typo. It is 225-year payback. Right? So that was the first question I asked when we talked about this with Honeywell was, is there a decimal somewhere in there? And yes, it's to the right of the 5. So there is a decimal there, but that is just, they're huge units. While, you know, we see $6,700 in annual savings, it's about $1 million. And so part of that is the devices themselves, but also the other part is the location. So we're working through different things, either if we have a bigger units that replace like, for what we have to either go through the roof or go through a wall. If we were to go with smaller units, which we most certainly can do, that fit within existing frames and different things, there's a lot more connections, a lot more piping, a lot more electrical work that needs to be done associated with those things. So that is looking at both ways what that would look like. So you can see total annual savings is just under $400,000, and then we have one-time grants and rebates of just over $1.7 million.
Travis, how old are those boilers?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, about 50 years old. Yeah.
So we're end of life on those boilers?
Yes.
Where do those boilers live? Are they in the basement? No.
No, they're on the second floor at North.
Okay, wow.
So we have more than one boiler, right, in our buildings. That's the second set of big boilers that are in that building. So if you go to the next slide, please. So you can see this is just visual, keeping the two things separate. Again, that'll help with transparency as well, help us with our accounting and financing to have those things separate. To be in compliance with Section 19B2 of the school code, we need to go through, as we talked about in a previous meeting, and having a third party review the savings and verify what those look like. Either yes, they're good, or no, they're not good. So we're in the process of doing that right now with Bauman Consulting. Again, they're a third party independent entity that is going through all of the figures. And so remember, if the independent evaluation does not confirm the savings, we have no obligation to proceed. If savings are confirmed, while we still don't have an obligation to like finalize, remember there is a dollar figure that's associated with that, and it was just north of $160,000 for all of the work. And I can verify there's been a lot of work that's been done to get to this point. And again, the next slide just talks about just some of the reminders. If you remember that July 4th date, some federal incentives are shifting, so that helps us to maximize those incentives, as well as if we meet that timeline, it expands our ability to install solar during that time frame. Our costs are not going down as we're seeing on a regular basis, and the demand for energy is not going down. So the more that we can get behind the meter, where we remove that delivery cost, the better. Because that's the part. Remember, in the fall, we approved a 4-year agreement for both to lock in our energy, our costs, and our natural gas, so electricity and natural gas. So those are set. It's that delivery charge that we just don't know what's going to happen. That can fluctuate. So the more that we get off of our bill, the better, right? It won't have as big of an impact on our operations. I think this is the last slide we have. This is just the next steps as we move forward. So once we have the results from Bauman Consulting, will obviously review that. Our district council will review the contract of the energy savings performance contract, that's the ESPC, to make sure that we are in line with that section 19 of the school code, and protect our interests at the same time. That's an important thing. As part of this, if we were to move forward, we do have to have a public notice in the paper and on our website, and also posted here at the district office or wherever we have that hearing. So we would target to have that I believe we're going to be ready for that May board meeting to bring this to you for board consideration. So if we do that, our target date to get that public hearing would be, or in the paper, would be May 7th. So at that board meeting, we would have a public hearing component. If we aren't able to meet that deadline, then we looked at that June meeting, we would target to have that on June 4th. So then we would bring it to the board for consideration, and then after, if the board approves that and we were to have that final execution of the contract, we have to submit that there to the Capital Development Board to finalize and make sure we've taken care of everything with Section 19 of the school code. So there's still several steps that we need to take in order to get there. We have not seen any of the results from Bauman Consulting, so I can't speak of any of that. All the numbers that we shared with you have been provided by Honeywell in meetings and going through. We've asked a lot of questions. We've had some different revisions in the scope of the work that that we're comfortable with that fit within that $14 million debt certificate. So any other questions that we can answer?
Okay, just to confirm should this go ahead, the anticipated payback, so it's $14 million in debt certificates, and then if I understand correctly, the payback would be funded by the $397K annual, which is being audited by Bauman, right? $77K a year in solar revenue. Is that number being audited too, or is that included in the?
That is a calculation,
okay.
Right? It's a production.
So the production would be guaranteed.
Okay.
And so the production can be audited by Bauman, and the state of Illinois has guaranteed those dollars for 20 years for public schools.
Okay.
And we have built in that cost to have that audited each year to maximize that revenue stream.
Okay. And then the final piece, if I understood, then there's $200K from the operating budget.
Yes,
right?
approximately.
Approximately, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And just to put that roof into perspective, right? So we had, if you remember with the field house roof, it was just under 30,000 square foot that we just had, that we approved, and the work is being done. It would be an additional 87,000 square feet. So think of 3 field houses that we would be adding to as part of this project as well. That doesn't take care of all of our roofs. We still have other roofs that are not solar worthy, if you will, right? Structurally, they can't handle it. And the age of those, we're maintaining them. And we're gonna, at some point, have to make the decision, what do we do with those roofs as well. But this helps offset that cost. These are some pretty big capital projects that we're able to do that in utilizing all of the moving pieces. So we have some creativity that's been built into this in order to try to get those things done as well.
Travis, I'd like to, first of all, thank you and your team for all the hard work that's been put into this project. It's fantastic. And secondly, from a community perspective, the fact that we're having independent verification of the projections from Bauman Consulting is fantastic, so that the community understands that we're crossing every T and dotting every I, and doing everything we can to make sure that this is an excellent decision. But first and foremost, thank you for all your expertise and work in this project.
Yeah, Travis, Jeree, Tammy have spent a lot of time on this. The board has been aware of this since the fall, but Travis and Jeree have been working on these models and these possibilities for like 3 years now. So you can see it's a lot of work that goes into making this all kind of feather together to be a usable project. So they've done really good work on this.
Can I just ask you, can you go back to the infographic one? I just had a question about. Yep. That one. So is everything under the Honeywell list down to the boiler replacement? Is that all Honeywell?
Yes.
Okay, and then the three over here are are D99.
And the safety projects.
Where do I see the safety project?
Right under where it says handled by District 99.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, so I want to make sure I understand. And then, my second one is just, so say the audit comes back, approves it, we decide to proceed. Like, over time, like, and we've probably covered this, so I apologize if we've already discussed, but like, how does that actually work? We talked about the auditing, so like, say we expect these savings, like, does Honeywell provide someone that comes and is checking everything? How do we know where, over this period of time, like, what if the numbers don't shake out?
Yeah.
Or, so how does that work?
It's a great question, and we've covered a little bit, but not
Okay.
to the detail that we need to. So what happens, we have that annual audit of the savings, right? So within that projection, there are savings that are calculated, okay? And if those are not met, Honeywell cuts us a check for the difference.
Oh,
Okay, so that's why the importance of having that audit done yearly to make sure that it is functioning as it should.
Okay.
Right, because in their projections are also the variables of, and they have a 4% in there right now of with that solar revenue building. And when they look at the long-term projections of, how much that's gonna save in kilowatts and all of those different things, those are all factored in.
Those are all being audited.
So that's the part of when you see the energy savings performance contract. The performance part is if they're not performing as
Okay.
they say they're going to, we actually
okay,
they cut
okay.
us a check. So they've been doing this for a long time, right? So they're not going to give us calculations that don't match,
Okay,
right?
okay,
Or,
all right.
or they've screwed up. So they're smart. They're looking at that is going to be accurate unless there's something that they make a mistake. But that's why we're also having, Bauman Consulting looking at those figures as well to be able to verify.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's a lot of moving parts. That's why we wanted to get it to, we've been trickling it in throughout the year, but we're getting to like decision time, right? So it's, this is the big final overview tonight that pulls all those pieces together. We'll get some of our results in the next couple of weeks. We'll have another couple of board meetings, but as Travis said, depending on the timelines and how everything comes together, we'll come back for board approval either in May or June. We need to hit those deadlines, though, so that we're eligible for all of the maximum rebates.
If the board approves this in May or even in June, right, but preferably in May, that gives us some lead time to start getting things ordered and go through. The solar work won't be completed this summer. It might go into the fall, and we've talked about second shift. We've talked about lots of different options that are tied to that, because the majority of that work would be all of the roofs that can handle and are good on age, we would get solar on, right? It's the ones that we have to do the roof replacements, and then as soon as the roof replacement is done, they would get going on the other work. But the other work, the other energy conservation stuff would occur this summer. So if that gets approved, it's going to be extremely busy around here between that and our health, life, safety projects and our field house floor replacements in both buildings. So we've already started working on coordinating, right, timing and the who and the where, because we also have summer school, right, at North that is going to be going on. So we're working on all of those moving pieces in anticipation of this coming to fruition.
I have one last question. So the audits, which I assume are mostly external, but they probably require our staff to be involved, do we have that expertise? Like, is that a burden on our staff to participate in the audits, or?
It's gathering the information, like providing our bills,
Okay, so
providing
it's-
where they can pull it from the meters, they can pull all of that information. It's
that's
just
not a-
finding the information and providing it to them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a lift on our staff, right?
No, I think auditing in my company is a big deal too.
To say the least, like, just to get here of having, again, providing our previous bills, coordinating in the building, it seems like we had something at least every week where we were doing roof walks. We were coordinating to have drones flown on the weekend to be able to get the temperature settings of, or the readings and moisture readings on the roofs. You had to do it at dusk, right? So there were a lot of different moving pieces that, I mean, a lot of people have put into and invested in. So it's neat to see, you know, up to this point, everything is pointing towards it. It looks good. We'll see what those final numbers come out.
All right, any other questions? All right, this will be back.
Thank you.
One way or another. All right, the most popular item on the agenda every year, copy paper bid. You guys have a decision to make this year, so I'll turn this one back over to Travis.
Yeah, so in looking at our board policy and looking at school code again, it reads that we have the need to utilize recycled paper where economically feasible, right? And so what that boils down to, and there's a change in how we went to bid this year. Before we said that the copy paper needed to be recycled. And so what we did in looking at the school code, and I poked around at some other districts and how they go about doing it, and they had, in their bid, they had it broken down as both, right? Recycled paper and non-recycled paper. So you look at the two, and then where economically feasible, that's where it comes in. You don't know if it's economically feasible if you don't gather both bids. While not all 6 of those that submitted the bids put in for both, we have solid numbers on a low bid. So if you look at virgin fiber paper, that's where the contract paper group comes in just under $67,000. And then for the recycled content paper, that's where Murnane paper comes in just over $77,000. So just over $10,000 difference between the two. I want to be transparent in the fact too of when we talk about copy paper, that's not all the paper that we have, right? It's about 91% of the copy paper, of all the paper in the bid, would be recycled if we went with the recycled paper, because it's not all of your standard copy paper. We have some that are thicker for different needs, educational needs, and those are built into that as well, and those are not recycled. So we always look at and see, you know, how much do we normally pay? You can see it was somewhat consistent up through 2020, and then something happened in the world, right? And so we have an irregular heartbeat that's going on there, and some of that supply and demand in our facilities. We didn't need as much, and I will tell you that's what happened between last year and this year. We have quite a bit more paper because we utilized more of what we had in stock, right? So it's not going to be a consistent as far as the amount that we look at in the need, but you can see when we adjust it for inflation, it's pretty close to where we have been considering the last 13 years. So it really does come down to both of them. We've checked with both companies. We have vetted their bids. It comes down to, you know, what is the difference between the two, what is the preferred award path that we were to go with that. So glad to answer any additional questions as needed.
Tonight you have an option to approve one or the other. We brought them both forward, but the board will have to choose which one do you prefer, the recycled or non-recycled option.
I didn't get, why would we only be locked in with the recycled paper company into a contract? Did I miss that? So that you're saying the case is that it's streamlined, it keeps the pricing consistent over there. Would we not lock into a multi-year contract with either of them?
Correct. It's a 1 year. It's a one bid. So we gather what are our needs for this upcoming school year.
Right.
So each building says, here's how much paper we need, and we have a form they fill out, how much regular, just your copy paper, right? And then we have all the slew of different colors
Yep.
of 90-pound paper, of 20-pound paper, of all of the different things that are needed. And then we put that in our bid packet, and we do a sealed bid every year off of that. We try to, if you remember last year, we were trying to look in to see, are there savings if we were to go with a cooperative purchasing agreement, such as Sourcewell? And it didn't pan out. We were getting better prices this way. And we even checked them. IASBO had another avenue that I signed it. I created an account to go through, and I checked the prices. Our prices in our sealed bid were better than the prices that were in that, and it's basically a state contract when it looks at that. So it is an annual thing.
It's an annual thing. So really, the decision is just, do we want to pay more for the recycled paper this year versus not? Okay.
Yep. It's the same amount of paper,
Yep.
right? It's
Yep.
a different type and obviously a different price.
Do we have a board policy on this?
Yes.
As far as, okay.
Yep, and that's.
What does that state?
It states that we're economically feasible, right? So in line with that, where the school code, it lines up with the policy, and it is a district is to use recycled paper where economically feasible.
Okay.
Is basically the wording.
But you're also saying we haven't always asked for both
Correct.
sources.
So if the board deems that the additional cost is not economically feasible, we're within our rights to approve the virgin.
Correct. And that's, and by structuring the bid that way and reporting it out and showing the difference, right? That's where that, yes, we would have covered all of our bases.
Should we have a discussion now to
I
gain
would.
consensus before we ask for the motion?
You could do it at either one. You could ask for the motion later, you could just straw poll and find out where people are and make it smoother. Either
Yeah.
way, it's up to you as a board now.
Can I get a show of hands as to the board members who are in favor of the recycled paper version? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think you have a straw poll.
Okay, thank you.
I did not try to make that more complicated than it needed to be, right? But just looking at that, we didn't know what the
Yeah, it's
difference
good.
was going to be.
Yeah.
Right, and so, again, to the taxpayers, everyone, just trying to be as fiscally responsible as
Thank you.
possible. Welcome.
Okay, custodial supplies, a little less confusing
Yes,
on this one.
this is my last one for the night. So we have custodial supplies. So again, we went out to bid. If you remember, we made a change in our approach last year, where our custodial supply bid used to be, we used to have a lot more supplies on there. And I will tell you that this past year, not this bid, but the bid before, we went down to kind of the basics of that we know more of, right? When you think of hand towels, paper towel, toilet paper, bags. We use a lot of bags, trash bags in our buildings. Those types of things, hand soap, right? We know that we're gonna go through those, so those are the bigger items that are on that. And another thing that I said that we would do is monitor and see, you know, what are our custodial supplies when we look at that. So through April, I can tell you in the custodial supplies for each building, at North, they're at 68.48% of the supply budget, and at South, they're at 66.31% of the supply budget. So part of the concern was, well, maybe we're not gonna stay within budget. When we look at if we just order those, it actually, we're staying within our budget. Granted, there's still 2 months left. They're gonna need to order some things, especially as we get ready for this, for summer and cleaning and doing all of those different things. But we're managing that well. So this approach seems to be working, where we're not ordering things, because a lot of times these supplies have a shelf life. So we're ordering what we need and keeping that in there. So we had, again, 6 different bidders that came through with this. This is different than the copy paper in the fact that we are looking at each line for that, whereas the copy paper is the entire bid. So you can see the breakdown of the 4 different companies. It comes in just over $53,000 for each of those areas.
All right, this is an action item tonight. Any questions for Travis? All right. Now Dree gets to take over. Third quarter financial report.
Okay. Well, tonight, we are presenting the third quarter financial update for the 25-26 fiscal year. Overall, the district's financial position remains stable. Revenues are approximately 94% collected, and expenditures are at about 71% expended for the year, which is consistent where we were at this time last year. On the revenue side, do you want to go
Just go to the slide.
Sure.
Yeah.
So on the revenue side, most categories are performing as we expected. Property taxes are fully collected at this time of the year, and both food service and federal revenues are on track. However, interest income is projected to come in about $400,000 below budget due to lower rates, and state aid is also expected to be under budget, primarily related to special education transportation reimbursement. On the expenditure side,
I wasn't ready for your cue.
on the expenditure side, most areas remain aligned with expectations. Salaries are tracking as planned, as they normally do. However, we are seeing some pressure in benefits to higher than normal claims in our self-insured PPO plan. Along with our purchase services line item, it's trending a little higher due to unanticipated maintenance and repair costs that we've had in the buildings this year. All other major categories, including supplies and capital outlay and tuition, are expected to finish close to budget. So if you want to go to,
Where does the roof replacement fall in there?
It doesn't.
It does not?
Not yet.
It's not within our operational,
Well,
you're saying?
for right now, it has not been expended through the
Okay.
third quarter.
Okay.
So we have just started the work, so we expect to be billed in May. And then we're thinking that at the May board meeting is what we're hoping to bring everything back for all those big capital projects. And what we are recommending is that we would just fold that expense right into that $14 million in debt certificates.
Okay.
To take the stress off the
Take it
operating
off the
budget.
operating, Okay.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. Thank you.
sure. So our combined fund balance as of March 31st is $36.1 million, which is about $600,000 lower than it was last year at this time. At this point, we do anticipate ending the year with a slightly larger decrease in fund balance than originally projected, due to some of the modest revenue shortfalls and our expenditure pressures that we've been seeing. So we plan to continue closely monitoring these areas, and we would bring anything of concern back to the board, as we always do. So would you like to go over anything in more detail on the revenues or the expenditures?
All right. Any other questions for Dree?
I might point out about our health insurance, our PPO self-insurance. It's running really higher than what we had anticipated. Right now, we have had to borrow $850,000 from our ed fund to pay the claims. We anticipate being able to pay back some of that, but we don't know if we'll be able to pay back all of it. So if that's the case, we would be ending the year in the red for our insurance fund. So that's one of our biggest stressors that we have felt this year.
And this
We
is
have an
due to
insurance-
more claims, a higher cost
Higher
of claims,
higher claims.
volume of claims.
Yes, yes.
We have an insurance committee meeting this week to kind of take a look at that, investigate what's going on.
Okay.
Questions?
All right. The next one is, 8 years ago, we entered into an abatement agreement with Rexnord as an economic driver in our community. Every year, we abate back a certain percentage of their property taxes back to them under a longstanding agreement. This year, we are abating back 30%. So we have 3 more years, and after 3 more years, the agreement ends, and, or well, 2 more years after this one. And then we'll be collecting 100% every year. So this is just the action item that authorizes us to do what we've already agreed to and must do anyway.
It's a resolution that we need to turn over to the county.
A resolution not to breach our contract.
Correct. Yes.
All right, so we recommend you approve that. Tax rate reallocation, I'll turn this one back over to Julie.
So we got some more excitement here. Okay. We received the preliminary 2025 tax extension from the DuPage County Clerk on April 1st. So for our capped funds, the total extension is about $103.4 million. Oh, we're just looking at the rates here, okay?
Yeah.
Which is fine, which is an increase of about $3.2 million over the previous year. Our original request for the levy was $105 million. We always want it to be higher than what it actually comes in at, which it was. And then the clerk reduces the amount that it's needed to fall within the tax cap law and everything. That reduction was applied across all capped funds at about 98.5% of our request. We just had our funds adjusted evenly across the board. As a result, the tax rates, as we see here, are for 2025 is 1.58 versus 1.60 from last year. Because reallocation decisions are due April 3rd, we had 2 days to turn that around. Administration submitted the adjusted rates in advance to meet the deadline, so we have to do it before the actual board meeting. This adjustment was anticipated and does not impact our overall financial plan. So administration recommends that tonight you will just approve those adjusted tax rates.
So if board members remember back in like December, we came to you and we said, here's what we think it'll be, we have to guess, and then later they tell us what it actually is. This is the board meeting where you learn what it actually is. So we recommend this be approved this evening as well. Auditor services, Drury?
Okay. So last month, we learned that our current audit firm, Miller Cooper, is exiting the governmental audit space. So we are required to transition to a new firm for FY26, for this year's audit that will begin in late summer. We have the opportunity to maintain our strong contact by working with Sikich, where our long-term audit partner, Betsy Allen, has transitioned. Her experience with the district will help ensure an efficient and smooth audit process. The proposed fee from this new firm is $49,300, which is just $1,000 more than Miller Cooper's base fee from last year. Given the timing of the upcoming audit and the importance of what we feel is to have that experience with an audit firm, we are recommending a 1-year engagement with this new firm. And then at a later time, we would come back with a recommendation if we want to go out for a proposal or what we might propose at that time.
And we're not required to do that now because of the short timing?
It's a service.
So we don't have to bid.
Oh, we don't have to bid in the service, okay. Got it.
I'll also just remind the board that the finance and HR team is in the process of transitioning software systems for finance. So they've got a lot of changes going on right now to begin with. This came out of the blue. So helping them with the consistency of somebody who knows how we work and how they work will definitely lower some of the pain points in this transition right now.
That was quite unexpected.
Yes. Any questions for Drew? All right, this is an action item as well this evening. All right, we're also recommending to transition school treasurer services. Drew is back.
Okay. All right, over the past year, we have been reviewing our use of our external school treasurer. While that structure has worked for many years, it's actually not that typical. Most districts handle this function internally. Right now, our team is spending about 20 hours each month preparing information for external review, and we're also paying about $11,000 annually for these services. The role itself is fairly limited in scope and ends up duplicating work that's already happening within our business office. Given that on July 1, we are transitioning to a new financial and HR platform that will provide streamlined workflows, we see an opportunity to simplify the monthly financial reporting process and just be more efficient by bringing this role in-house. This change won't reduce oversight or controls. It just streamlines how the work gets done and better aligns us with common practice.
So questions for Drew?
Questions on that? Sure.
If we were to bring the school treasurer role in-house, what would the projected annual cost savings be of that move? Do you have any idea?
Well,
About $11,000.
about $11,000.
It'll pay for your recycled copy paper.
That's the first thing I thought when I heard that.
And that work comes to your team? You and, who does that work? You and Tim, that work? Team,
Yeah,
okay.
Drew.
Yeah. The work all still would be getting done the same. It's just instead of sending it off
Got it.
to the school treasurer that lives in Florida to then give us, you see the one-page report that he signs off on. And it is good. I mean, he's just confirming those are the cash balances. But we have an annual audit every year too.
Yeah.
You know, that's confirming everything.
Most school districts have gone away from this.
Yeah, we surveyed quite a few of the local school districts, and there's very few external school treasurers.
All right, any other questions for Drew? All right, you're off the hot seat
I
for now,
think
Drew.
that's it.
All right. The administration tonight would just like to recognize the staff that are returning next year and are being granted tenure by the state of Illinois. By the nature of the board approving them coming back, then the state grants them tenure. So congratulations to all of these fine teachers here on their extended tenure with us and with the state. All right, back one last time. Woodridge TIF intergovernmental agreement has been presented to the board many times over the course of the year. We had a long discussion about this last month, so I'm only going to open up, see if there's any last minute questions. Otherwise, it is up tonight as an action item for approval. I think that was an appropriate wait time.
Yep.
So this will come back under action. Freedom of information requests, we keep receiving them and we keep filling them, and they are listed on the district website.
Before the board votes on the consent agenda, is there any agenda item a board member would like to pull out of the consent agenda for further discussion? Hearing none, can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the consent agenda as presented, which includes item A, personnel report, appointment certified, appointment classified. Item B, personnel report, resignation exempt, resignation classified. Item C, personnel report, termination classified. Item D, March treasurer's report and financial pages. Item E, resolution of appointment to DuPage Area Occupational Education System Board of Directors. Item F, intergovernmental agreement with District 66, data sharing. Item G, intergovernmental agreement for placement of non-district students in transition program. Item H, student trips. Item I, anatomy and physiology course, title change to anatomy and physiology honors, effective for the 2026-2027 school year. And item J, acceptance of donation from the Downers Grove Roadrunners, Inc. Soccer Club.
So moved.
Second.
Ken moves, Chris seconds.
Thank you. Ken Dawson,
Aye.
Chris Espinoza,
Aye.
April Finan,
Aye.
Michael Riskey,
Aye.
Kara Caston,
Aye.
Katie Courtney,
Aye.
and Don Runner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you to the Downers Grove Roadrunners.
All right, for action items tonight, Item A, can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the recycled paper bid to Murnane Paper Company in the amount of $77,259.50?
So moved.
Second.
Ken moves, Mike seconds.
Thank you. Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries. I'm still waiting for that Dunder Mifflin.
We're working on it.
Okay. Item B, can I get a motion for the Board of Education to award bids for custodial supplies to the noted vendors in the aggregate amount of $53,205.52?
So moved.
Second.
Ken moves, Chris seconds.
Thank you. Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item C, can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the resolution authorizing property tax abatement for the Rexnord facility for the 2025 tax year?
So moved.
Second.
Chris moves, Katie seconds.
Thank you. Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
Ken Dawson.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item D, can I get a motion for the Board of Education to approve the 2025 tax rates as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Kara moves, Mike seconds.
Thank you. Kara Caston.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item E, can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the one-year audit service proposal from Sikich in the amount of $49,300?
So moved.
Second.
Mike moves, Chris seconds.
Thank you. Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
Ken Dawson.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item F, can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the termination of the external school treasurer services effective June 30th, 2026, and support the establishment of an internal school treasurer function beginning July 1st, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Ken moves, Chris seconds.
Thank you. Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item G, can I get a motion for the Board of Education to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Woodridge, Woodridge Tax 75th Street Corridor Tax Increment Financing District, and the other taxing districts?
So moved.
Second.
April moves, Katie seconds.
Thank you very much. April Finan.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
As to old business, can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the policies as previously presented?
So moved.
Second.
Chris moves, Ken seconds.
Chris Espinoza.
Aye.
Ken Dawson.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
And Katie Courtney.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item, the board will be going into closed session for Open Meetings Act exception number 1, personnel, Open Meetings Act.
Communications announcements first.
Oh, did I skip that? I'm sorry.
good.
I did.
Trying to get there.
Sorry. Apologize.
We have no other visitors, by the way, no comments. No comment slips for public comment.
1 second, I'm scrolling through. No new business and no additional reception of visitors?
Correct, sir.
Okay. Item 13, communications. Can I get a report on Lend, Kara?
So this month, on March 31st, our federal committee met with Reps Caston and Reps Ramirez and the district director for Rep Foster, and we talked about our federal priorities. It was a great meeting. We had the whole committee there, superintendents, business office leaders, school board members, really great dialogue. And our ask was basically to update them on changes to the legislation and, get them to hopefully continue to support the same level or increased. Most of the two representatives there are not on the committees that passed that legislation, but wanted to advocate on behalf. So that was exciting. And then I did not attend the meeting. Did you go to the meeting this month? I was unable.
No, I got caught up through other means, but there's just a lot, there's another meeting on Friday.
Yeah, there's one coming up.
A lot of legislation out there.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of things moving through, so.
So we'll
A
come
lot
back.
of mandates.
A lot of mandates.
Yeah.
Right, and of course, the lens focuses on, not supporting any unfunded mandates, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll bring back an update after the next one.
Thank you. Chris, can I get a report on SACID, please?
Nothing to report so far.
Really a lot of facility work. We're looking at some properties to maybe be able to move the cooperative from paying a lot of rent to paying a mortgage instead, which short-term and long-term savings for the cooperative. So that's, and then staffing and everything else is going on, just all the same things going on here.
April, Katie, anything to report from the foundation?
The meeting this month was canceled. There's a bit of restructuring going on internally. I think we mentioned before Julie is stepping down and shuffling around some positions. But we're going to be meeting less frequently now. I believe we're changing to a bi-monthly meetings.
Okay. Ken, anything to report on IASP, please?
Not really. A lot of different things in the pipeline, but nothing really finalized. One interesting thing is the cell phone ban policies back on Governor Pritzker's desk. So it'd be interesting to see if that goes through statewide or not. I think we've done a great job of being proactive, and regardless of the outcome of that, we have a great policy in place. So
And
we
ours
should be
would
good.
Sorry, Ken. Ours would be grandfathered through 2031.
31, yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
you'd have to align yours with the.
Yep, so that's it.
Okay. I have nothing to report as liaison for the Village of Downers Grove. I do want to note that I think appointments for committees are up soon. Is that correct, Julie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if any of you are either interested in trying to change your committee assignment or want to take on a new role, please contact me, and I'll work on your requests and see if we can get that set for the upcoming school year. Okay. Item 14, upcoming board meetings. We have a workshop meeting here at the ASC on May 4th at 6:30 PM, followed by our monthly business meeting again here at the ASC on May 18th, 2026, also at 6:30 PM. And then getting to the closed session, which I had gotten to earlier, we are going to be moving into a closed session under items exception 1 for personnel, OMA exception 2 for collective negotiating matters, and exception number 11 for litigation under Open Meetings Act. So can I get a motion from the Board of Education to go into closed session for OMA exceptions number 1, OMA exception number 2, and OMA exception number 11?
So moved.
Second.
Ken moves, Chris seconds.
Thank you. Ken Dawson.
Aye.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
April Finan.
Aye.
Michael Riskey.
Aye.
Kara Caston.
Aye.
Katie Courtney.
Aye.
And Don Renner.
Aye, motion carries. For the members of the public, the board will be taking action on the items noted in the agenda when it comes out of closed session. Let's take a quick break and we'll reconvene in about a few minutes.